Hello guys, I'm gonna watch one of Gotham.cheds, one of the biggest chess YouTubers in the world. We're gonna watch their best chess are trying to terrify us.
Finishing my development, Many chess players like to practice against bots, and it can be a little bit of a different experience than playing against humans. I already made a video playing some beginner bots on chess.com, but today I'm going to start with Nelson, who's 1300, the notorious bot that brings out his queen early, and end with a 2200 master level bot. Hopefully this gives you a good example of how to navigate the intermediate and advanced bots. I expect a challenge because these bots are actually really difficult to play against. We're going to start with Nelson. Timestamps are on the video player. Here we go. I will begin with e4. And Nelson probably will play e5. Okay. Queen g4 coming soon? What? That's not even the right square. Nelson doesn't know his coordinates? Okay, well, 2 pawns in the center against the French defense is good. Yeah, there it is. There's queen h4. The point is, of course, that g3 is met with this. You guard your pawn. I think Nelson's going to go here. What? I thought, like, this move made sense because it fit the style, but I'll play g3, attacking the queen, kicking it out. And then I'm just going to put my bishop on g2. Okay, e5. I mean, I might as well take it. Why not? Because this will help me develop another piece. So now I've developed 3 pieces and the queen is still in the middle of the board. I can already go to punish, but just get the king out of the middle of the board. And the lesson here is that since we have a lot more development than Nelson...
I think he's going to bishop. So it's going to do bishop g5, attacking the queen, right? Oh yeah, you can do bishop. Yeah, that's actually a really good move. Bishop. Bishop g5, which attacks the queen, and the queen has nowhere to move. And then he has to use the knight.
We can immediately start swarming with moves like this, improving our position by winning time. And I want to land this move, so I'm thinking maybe even like something weird like this. Give away the bishop at knight c7. Also shredding open the middle of the board. Instructive moment, trading pawns to open up the e-file. Black is already completely losing. This is already very good. We can move the knight back and then go like this. This is very good for us because black has no development at all. And we can just keep creating threats. The knight is hanging. I'm thinking maybe queen e2 check. Because that also protects the knight, whereas removing the rook there didn't do that. And now I'm thinking bishop to e3. Although, I gotta tell you, so much stuff is winning here. Bishop e3 looks very good. Just attacking. Yeah, and now Nelson is sacrificing the queen. I can move this bishop anywhere, and it's a discovered attack. I can also finish my development. I'm now bringing a rook. Maybe queen takes with a check, then the bishop blocks. I don't see anything wrong with this move. This is not a threat because it's pinned, and I can go f4 and try to go f5, trying to utilize this pin. I can still go f5. Oh no, but then I would lose my knight. Now that the pin is gone. So I'll move my knight to the middle, and then f5 is coming. Okay, of course I will trade. I'm very happy to trade. Be a little bit careful here. Don't ever get your queen pinned. It's not a threat, but I'm just simply saying f5. And there we go. Nelson blunders, and now we shred it all open. Rook takes f7. Rook d7, pinning the bishop. Take the pawn. Pin is strong there. Take this pawn, because he can't actually take back. We're clowning Nelson. I hope all of you just destroy Nelson after this. Check, still can't take my queen. Take another pawn. I mean, you know what? This is going to be our revenge game. For all of the bullying that Nelson done of you all, I am going to take all of Nelson's pieces. You can skip ahead to the second game if you want, but I am going to get revenge for humanity in this game. I am going to bully Nelson, and I'm going to take all of Nelson's pieces.
What's just as satisfying as hassle-free nicotine? The endless
First, and then I will make a bunch of queens. So I've lost my pawn here, but I have check, and then I have check. And I'm just winning the bishop. And that's it. Now we go. Let's go. This is for humanity. Actually, wait, I haven't taken his last pawn. I said I was going to take his last piece, right? And now, you notice I'm not moving my queen, because I cut the king off on the back rank. And that's GG. Well, Nelson is a good person to start with, or a good bot to start with. Because Nelson is just annoying. And once you can consistently beat Nelson, now we're going to play Isabel, who plays c4. It's the English opening. Good line against the English is just e5, putting a pawn in the center of the board. Knight c6 is good. And now what is Isabel going to play? Okay, Isabel is playing the 2 knights. Now, one thing I like about the English is the move f5 before you move the knight to f6. It's going to be a cool opening idea against for some of you to put 2 pawns in the center. Wow, bot is playing the best move, d4. Look at that. The point is that you go e4 now, and d5 here is the best move. That is also another way to play. Black can now get very aggressive. h6, knight goes to h3, and g5. Black can also play bishop e7. I'll get aggressive. I mean, I'll try to play creatively. Pray creatively. Knight e5 to get my knight out of danger. Queen d4 looks nice, but is not a threat. Because I would have just played bishop g7. That is officially the bot's first very strange move. All bots do this. What? I don't understand any of these moves. Okay, what if I just put my bishop on g7 and castle my king? Oh, that's actually not a bad... Wow. That was actually pretty creative. Okay, I guess I have to push my pawn out of danger. And then knight e6? Oh my goodness. What? Whoa! Whoa! The bot was doing some super weird stuff. Oh my god, it's hitting my queen and my bishop. Aren't you glad you stuck around? This is not just going to be a beatdown. I have to lose material. I have to move my queen and then this. Oh my goodness. Okay, I did not expect to make... I can cut this out of the YouTube video, but I won't. I'm going to teach you all how to come back in a losing position. d6. Okay, so what do I have after being down a rook and 2 pawns? I have a massive center. Massive center. And all of my pieces are really well developed. This king is still stranded in the middle of the board, which makes me think I can attack it. I just have to figure out how. g4 doesn't work. Finishing my development, I can take on c4. If I take on c4, then something with e3 happens. E3 knight c4 doesn't look terrible. Finishing my development also doesn't look terrible, just to get one more piece in.
If he says that, you can take, and then you can move the knight here, give it a check, and then e. Definitely look.
Party. The knight is just being rescued. Okay, e3. Here we go.
Yeah, e3.
We're going to... Oh! Well, now I can, like, take and then... See, I don't want to take right away. Oh, this is, like, juicy. Okay, let me take the horse. Then let me take this with check. And then... some sort of... I've got to have something here. I'm going to sacrifice a knight. Maybe knight d3? Knight e4, the king goes back to e1. I don't know. King e1. King g1? Really? What about, like, f3? Oh my goodness. We're using the fact that our opponent's king is so weak. Knight g6, knight h4 is mate. Look at that, rerouting the knight. Oh my goodness, that's a mate on h4.
If you're living with severe alopecia areata,
How is that a knight? See, look, this knight, he can move up here because that pawn is attacking. He can't eat that. He technically has 1, 2, 3, 4 squares to move. 4 squares all captured. I got to move here. Wait, there's no checkmate, is it?
Check, and now the king has to come out to h3. Oh, yeah. The bishop, oh! What an epic comeback. Of course I will take the bishop because we're attacking the rook here. Oh, and that's it. The bot is basically, it's giving in g4 take and queen g5 here. I'm looking for something beautiful. Check. Let's activate the rook. The rook is the only piece that has not participated in the attack. We must have a mate. We just must have a mate. Bishop comes back to f6 check. What about like f3? Oh my goodness. We're using the fact that our opponent's king is so weak. Knight g6, knight h4 is mate. Look at that, rerouting the knight. Oh my goodness, that's a mate on h4. Check, and now the king has to come out to h3. The bishop, oh. What an epic comeback. Of course I will take the bishop because we're attacking the rook here. Oh, and that's it. The bot is basically, it's giving in g4 take and queen g5 here. I'm looking for something beautiful. Check. Let's activate the rook. The rook is the only piece that has not participated in the attack. We must have a mate. We just must have a mate. I mean...
You're queen here. Oh yeah. Okay, even that's the problem. There's no way to take the pawn. Then you raise the d5 pawn and you move your queen to e6. That'll be checkmate. But he can't do anything right now, so he's figuring out another way to make a checkmate. He moves here, right? I'll just block the castle's attack and not be checkmate. In fact, it kind of. So I think the only reason he moves to move here, he moves there, and then he moves his queen to e3 as that's checkmate.
Check. Here, check. Where is it? Where's the mate? I want to be careful. I don't want to just move.
Knight d5 check. But he will eat it. No, right? Oh no, he won't. So it's a forced move. He has to move. He can move here too.
My queen like a lazy person. Although maybe I can. Honestly, maybe I can just play like knight c5, guarding my pawn, and then play queen e3. Is this... This is leading to a mate. Bishop comes back to f6 check. And queen to g5. Wow. Wow. That was crazy. I mean, I got a little bit... I missed this whole idea of moving back, and then, oh my god, what a crazy... See, computers are so weird. That's the thing about playing bots, is they just play such strange moves. It would have been a lot better for me to put my bishop on c5, probably. Or fight back right away with, like, c6, for example, here. You know, c6, to block this pin. But bishop c5, I gotta tell you, even here, there's, like, b4. Weird position. And again, you don't need to play like this. The main move in this position after knight g5 is actually to just play it a little bit more solidly. I just created this giant pawn wall, but the pawn wall ended up working, because later, despite us being down so much material, we have such an active set of pieces, we shred open our opponent's position, and we're able to win the game.
AT&T's been carrying America's calls since 1876. When you've been around...
Crazy. Okay. Now I'm going to play Miguel. I'm going to play d4, who's a positional player. I'm going to play bishop f4. e6, playing the London, e3. Miguel is 1900. I actually played Miguel already once, and it was a brutal game. So the general rule of c5, c3 in the London. I'm going to finish my development with knight f3. Miguel still has not played d5. Okay, now he's played d5. Now knight d2. This is a mainline London. Okay, so c4 is a bad move. C4 is almost always a bad move in the London.
Attack plus your knight. So,
Primarily because you can play something with like queenside expansion, but more importantly, white will play the move e4 in the future. So the way you will set that up is you'll maybe put a knight on e5, for example, and then play e4, and you'll break in the center. In fact, I'm already wondering if I can just play queen c2 and e4. So you can't put your bishop on d3, but it's okay, because a locked center benefits the player playing with white in the London. So you can play like e4 even now, breaking open the center, like take. And now this is just a weakness. I expect queen d5, yeah. And now, if I trade, I'm kind of helping black. So I'm thinking I'm just going to slide back one square, not trading. Opponent plays a little bit more aggressively. With the queen in the center, I mean, I want to finish my development in castle, but I also kind of like lining up my bishop on this diagonal. Ooh. I don't know, g3 looks really good. Is my bishop trapped with g5? No. Is my opponent beating me to the diagonal? Also doesn't look like it. Okay. Castles. Oh, yeah, this is fine. This is fine. Ah, see? Opponent doesn't want me to move my knight, because this is going to be mate. The only knight move I have is this. Or just a knight move that protects my bishop. And then I'm not so sure that I'm really accomplishing what I want. I still think ultimately I will have to do that. To, like, move my knight and then try to... But for now, I'm just going to put my rook into the middle behind my queen. The opponent is expanding on the queen side. Generally, a good move to meet this incoming b4 queenside attack is to play a3. And b4 is just not so good now. That's why the computer goes there. This bishop is always protected, so it's also not any sort of material being won with this. It's a very tough position, actually. Very difficult. I mean, this queen is very strong. I'm most likely going to have to trade something to make progress. So I'm thinking knight h4 is the only way to go here. Queen goes back. Now I will take the bishop because I just feel like it's too strong. And I have some positional deficiencies here for sure. My light squared bishop is gone and I have 7 pawns on the dark squares. But can I play knight to f5? Look at this. Knight f5, take, and then I take. That looks like a serious improvement for me. Making this trade. Oh my god, the bot just has bishop f6? And now my knight is just hanging? Computers are so tricky. So sacrificing doesn't do it. Am I really gonna have to go back? Man, I thought knight f5 was so clever. Don't see anything. So this capture opens my king. But in reality, this might just be open for me. Like, if I trade the queen and then lock down this knight somehow, let's take a look at queen e5. If queen takes, maybe even rook takes. Okay, I really don't like this. This allows me to win time on the queen, which doesn't look good for my opponent. Check, and now rook... Wait, what? Isn't that just a horrible mistake? Whoa, 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 whoa. Wait a minute. Whoa, 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 whoa. Queen takes b5. Queen takes f4. If I take, bishop takes. I mean, that looks good. I wish I could get better, but my opponent says, I hope you've studied your endgames as much as I have. I'm 900 points higher rated than you, Miguel. I don't know who you're trying to trash talk. Maybe we double stack. Also, h5, h6 looks really nice. I don't know. Where are we moving? King h1? Or f4, king f2. I think time is of the essence here.
Swishy time!
Helps eliminate bad breath for 12 hours.
Go get kissed!
Sarah breath. It's a better mouthwash.
On Italian time, Friendsgiving lasts until everyone's agreed how al dente is too al dente.
I think king h1 and then double up. Right, so rook g5. What? What are you doing? It's just a check, not a sign of weakness? Miguel, you lost everything. Why are you still trash talking me? How are you?
Possibilities of check there are. That stupid pawn was not in the way. So that pawn disappeared. You can move h5. And then he's probably going to move his castle too. Yeah. He's probably going to move his castle to f8. Yeah, and checkmate. But he can't do that.
How are you ever surviving this? And now h5, h6 is the killer. h6 and the game looks over. Once you lose g7, I mean, it's all falling apart. What do I even take with? I kind of like taking with the bishop. I actually don't want to allow my opponent to cover up here. There has to be a way to win this. For example, if I move my bishop with a discovered attack on the rook, that would be nice, but I can't take my own piece. What about d5? Also like this. I don't know. Also sacking and then rook h5, king g8, bishop to e5, king f8. It's like a calculation exercise. Rook h8, king e7. Looks like my opponent is surviving. Let's go d5 with the threat of bishop to d4. This must be losing now. Now that the bishop I mean, the rook is so far away. Some sort of check. This has to be it. Bishop f6 check, lining up here. I can play rook g7. I can also play rook g8 threatening mate, no? Like this, rook g8. But bots are always a little bit tricky, so rook g8. There's a lot of ways to win this. Rook g7, take, king g8, and I take, and then take, and then take. Okay, that's simple. Check. Simplify, simplify. Has to go there. I take. Bot will go here. I will take pawn. Now both of my pawns are safe, and I win. Very easily winning endgame. Opponent's only source of counterplay is 3 pawns. And my source of counterplay is being 2800. I don't actually know why it's 2800. Because my rating is not 2800. Now this pawn cannot push. My king is safe, and we will win this game by advancing our pawn, getting the king out, and promoting. Like this. h6, h7. He's still saying this is just the start of my attack. But it's not, because you're about to lose. Oh, I blundered rook h2. The trash talk paid off. He got me scared. Alright, looks like we'll have to win an endgame instead. Alright, it's the start of your attack. You win, Miguel. You win. Check. Just kidding, because now I have bishop f8. Oppa! X-ray. Oppa! Boom. Check. Here, and very easily winning. Cut the king off laterally. And then boom, 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 boom. 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 Alright. No hands. Let's see if we can flex. He just says, I love game. Let's look at all the voice lines. All the voice lines coming in. I just went to the side of the board and I did a ladder mate. I know you guys aren't always fans when I pre-move because you don't know what's going on. All I did there is I cut the king off and made sure that my rook was protected. As long as my rook is protected, it's creating an unbreakable barrier. I then made a queen, right? That's what I pre-moved. And then I brought the queen back so that my queen and my rook would alternate which file they cut off. And then I just did the zigzag, the ladder checkmate. That was a good game. That was a good game. Now we'll play Fatima. And we'll get the black pieces versus Fatima. Is this Fatima? Calm, patient, determined to queen. We'll grind you down and happily win the endgame. Why are all these bots playing endgames? And what is this? Lebanon. Fantastic. All right, here we go. C4. Another one? Hold on. Let me resign. I just want to make sure that maybe the bot will play a different opening. Okay, never mind. 2 Englishes. Fine. We get to learn to play the English. I'll play the Dutch. I'll have to take some time to figure out how to crack that one. It's move 1, Fatima. Why do they make these bots say the most, like, dramatic things? It's, jeez. Anyway, this is the Dutch defense. You try to play bishop to g7 and castles. And it's good because it's relatively non-confrontational. You just kind of do your own thing. This is a mainline Dutch defense. There's a few main moves here for black. c6. Queen e8 to try to go e5. This is actually my personal favorite. To try to go e5. Now, d5 here is the main line. And here after d5, what you do is you try to put your knight on c5, and then you try to get your pawn to a5 to stop your opponent from playing b4. So you like knight a6, knight c5, white is going for b4, Yeah, this also sometimes happens, and actually this is not really scary. You can just slide back to where you were. And now the knight is just on a weird square. And when they attack you, you can jump your knight into the middle of the board. Very complicated, very messy position. A lot of pieces, always kind of calculating where the pawn breaks are. Can go e5, and then if en passant, I just take back. That actually looks very nice. That's generally a good rule of thumb in these positions. If you can successfully get e5, you are doing well. This trade is nice. Don't fall into these things like, I don't like to make trades. You have to, because my knight really has no... I mean, it has nowhere really else to go. And the question is, do I kick this knight out now? I kind of want to. I don't know. This is the first thing that I'm thinking of. The second thing, in these Dutch positions, you just go for a kingside attack. White's main move is going to be c5.
The Tempur-Pedic breeze makes sleep feel cool, so no more sweating all night or blasting the air.
That's what White wants. White wants to play c5 successfully. I can undermine that by playing bishop d7, which lines up vision on the knight and prevents that from happening. Now that is just a terribly strange move. What is that? Surely it's not... What? No. This bishop is just a target. So, you know this is coming. So... I mean, but the bot is just going to move back if I do that. So I need like a follow-up move. Okay, well let's just force the... I mean, surely it's not going to let me take the bishop, right? So now, do I play like my kingside attack with f4? You know, this rook is actually also going to get over here. Such a weird... Computers are so weird! They do such strange things, like putting this rook here. Like, what are you even doing there? Sorry. These videos end up just me complaining about computer moves. Okay, it's time for g5, and then f4. If h3, you cannot go here, because then the bishop takes. You actually have to move your knight here. But that's fine, because you need to play d4. Oh, now I'm getting Dutch defended. I am going to play a variation of the Dutch defense, known as the Staunton Gambit. I'm thinking to play Staunton, but it's a bot. Do I trust the bot? F5 inherently is very weakening, so moves like e4 are very good. I think I'm going to play a different one. I'm going to play... Yeah, let's play the Staunton Gambit. I just can't resist. Oh, he's got nothing to say. The first of many captures, knight c3 is the point. And then you play bishop to g5. Okay, knight c6 is one of the moves. So... Bishop g5, black cannot defend with d5, because the point is you will take, and you will play queen h5 check, and you will win that pawn, because your bishop is cleared out. Against knight c6, the main line for white is to attack the knight, and then the knight goes to e5, so again, it's a little bit of theory. And now white has a choice. Both of these moves are good. Personally, I prefer queen to e2, and then when you castle long... Okay, so far the computer is playing all theory. And then when you castle queenside... What will happen is your rook and knight defend d5 and your queen pressures here. Okay, d6. Always wondering if I can take and then take back. Thinking, I don't want to take this, I'd rather have my opponent take me. Bishop g4 is not a threat because I have f3. But that is how I am visualizing this. And f4 I was going to play, but then bishop g4, and I would lose material with this x-ray. So maybe f3. Maybe taking on f6 now. A lot of appealing options. Even knight h3 with some weird idea to go like this. I think I will make this trade now. Because now the knight has destabilized the center. Losing the knight for black has destabilized the center. I'm not saying I'm winning, I'm just saying I've changed the position a little bit. I can take and open up my... Terrible at these arrows. I can take and open up my rook. It feels correct. It feels like I should be taking. But I'm not sure. For now, let's just take back this, and then we will figure it out. That move seems slow. Actually, that move seems really slow. Can't I go f4? Something looks wrong here. Can I not just play the move pawn to f4? Right. So I can't go here because of the pin. But... what if I take? Now this bishop isn't protecting. I mean, the problem here for Ahmed is that he's not protecting his king very well. So I'm thinking there's a way for me to just, you know, that was... I meant to... Why did I make a fart noise? I've never made a fart noise in a YouTube video. That is not... I meant to go as in shred. And instead I went... That's not a noise that... Anyway, this is what you get. I've never done that, but now I just did it. I was trying to indicate you should shred open the position, and I just made the wrong sound. Anyway, I can defend my guy here, but then there's this. I'm thinking this just has to be right. Right, so now giving check always brings me pleasure. Okay, that's kind of weird, Ahmed. You don't need to confess what you're into to me. Knight. Whoa, 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 whoa! Ahmed, are you crazy? What? Are you insane? Yo, Ahmed's gone off the deep end. What? You're letting me double check you? You are attacking? I mean, yeah, I'm attacking you. What did you? What? Oh my god, dude, Ahmed is crazy. What is Ahmed doing? Okay, of course I can take the bishop. I don't have any mates, and the threat is still to take my knight, which couldn't happen last move because of this. If I bring my knight back somehow... If I bring my knight back to c4, for example, I'm attacking the queen. I feel like I should just take this. Take this and then finish my development, like with g3. So what we're going to do now is, I'm thinking we just create threats. Continue to create threats. So I play the move g3, black has to make a decision. Black plays the passive move, moving back. Now, for example, I have bishop h3, which develops a piece with a... What we're doing is we're creating something called an initiative. In chess, an initiative is when you create a lot of threats, and in doing so, you also improve your position. If queen b5, queen e4, don't I just take? That looks pretty good for me. So this counterattack on my rook isn't going to work. Okay, if the bot played it, that makes me a little bit scared. What if we just play queen takes b7? Now this is a triple fork, no? Okay, rook d8. So I cannot take. If I take, he's going to take with the bishop, and my piece is still under fire here. Rook d8 was a great move. I did not see that. So probably the best thing to do is go here, here, and some sort of way where I give away a knight, but I don't lose my rook in the